Welcome to the 7 Cents Podcast, where we go beyond dollars and cents to unlock the mindset beyond the money.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Macklin, aka Money Mike, the financial Thanos, because I'm snapping my fingers and I'm turning your financial problems to dust.
And I'm Coach RL, your money mindset coach. Mind right, money right, legacy locked in.
Guys, this is not your average financial podcast. We're breaking down money myths, mindset traps, and economic game plans.
We keep it real, raw, and relevant, from micro money moves to macro financial shifts.
This is a 7 Cents podcast where your mind meets your money.
Hey, welcome everybody to the 7 Cents, back with Money Mike. What's going on, my man? How you been?
Slow motion, brother, just out here trying to cook, like, you know what I'm saying, like always.
Yeah,
I'm ready for another banger, bro.
I love it. And this one is good, man, because a lot of people have been talking about this. I think this is one of those waves that is happening right now and where we are in life, I guess, in this generation. But let's talk a little bit about manifestation, right? It's funny because I always struggle with that word, right? So is people mistaking manifesting the things that they want for actually managing the things that they want? And then how do these two things correlate? So I want to talk about that today. I want to dive in. I would say one of the interesting things is the word manifestation. So in general, should I see? So see, Mike, this is what I talk about, where I get to talking and I'm about to go too deep, but I want to do it. All right.
You know what I'm going to say. Go ahead and cook, man.
All right. So some people, and I researched this, some people believe that manifesting is being able to say what it is that you want to be. And if I think rich, then I will be rich. But the word manifestation, by definition, is an object or an event, which means that it's an actual thing. It's a thing that exists. So yes, you can manifest, but be careful what you think you're doing, because the real definition of manifesting is the act or event of being that thing. So if you think you're going to be rich, you have to act and proceed, like literally do the stuff that rich people do. That's manifesting, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to set the stage for the definition, or again, the book definition. You can do your own Webster lookup, but I want to set the stage for manifesting. Are people misinterpreting the word manifesting? Let me ask you that question off top.
Okay. To me, I always started off with to me. And I hope that a lot of people comment below what they think. But in my opinion, yeah, manifestation is put out in the wrong context, in my opinion. I feel like what people perceive as manifestation via what they see and everything like that is like essentially just the inner portion of it, like the mindset of it, or the thing that I look at manifestation as, or how I think a lot of people look at manifestation, is like the whole hoping portion. I feel like a lot of people, that's what they look at manifestation. It's just a hope thing. It's all inside. It's nothing in the actual physical world. It's all just what's in your head. So that would be my answer to that question. I think it's, in my opinion, it's just that inner part that you haven't brought out into the universe yet, or into the real world.
Yeah, I agree with that definition. Let's talk a little bit about how you grew up and just the ability to manifest your way out of a certain situation. How do you feel like manifestation works with real life, like your life?
Okay.
And do you feel like manifestation is a thing?
Here we go. Okay. I'm a something I've heard a lot and something I really believe in. And it's a quote, it's just something. It actually does push my lifestyle. And that's, you can hope in one hand and poop in the other and see which one fill up first. And I say that to say that the whole manifestation thing to me is just the first step in the process. It's almost like you creating your vision, more so than just what a lot of people do is just they sit there and just they stay in the inside part of that and just be like, all right, I hope this happens. And if I just keep hoping and hoping that somehow things is going to align to make that happen. And I'm just not a huge proponent in that kind of mindset or plan of life, I guess, lifestyle plan. I'm more of a action over anything. You know what I'm saying? You can think all you want to, but nothing materializes inside your head. It's not until you pull it out into the real world that it's actually something that's really going to be real.
Let me tell you what I think. I absolutely believe that's a piece of it, right? But let me nerd out for a minute. All right. Where I believe manifestation belongs in this realm is that it is a part of energy, right? Everything has energy, everything moves. And so in manifesting, thought becomes energy, and a lot of times thought becomes words. So it's always important to be careful what you think, be careful
Right.
what you perceive. But like you're saying, also be careful what you do, because first you do, it is the first step. You do have to think it, and then you do have to believe it, and you also have to speak it, which is part of what people call manifesting. But the
Okay.
other piece is you have to do it, right? So
Yeah.
and I'll use the Army as an example. You served as an NCO and I've served as an NCO, and we know that as you think you about to get promoted, hey, I want to be an E4, I want to be E5, I want to be E6, I want to be a staff sergeant. As an E4 and an E5, you need to do staff sergeant shit. That's what it comes down to. Like when you are saying you want to be something, you need to be acting in the steps. You may not be serving as a staff sergeant, but what I'm going to do as a specialist or a sergeant is I'm going to go to the staff sergeant, ask what his roles, responsibilities, duties are. Help me take some of those roles and responsibilities so I can act like a staff sergeant. And then when I become a staff sergeant, I should already be thinking about how to make master sergeant and sergeant major. But the only way I'm going to be able to do that is I got to do sergeant first class shit. I got to do master sergeant shit. I can never be where I'm at and want to be somewhere else and doing stuff where I'm at. I have to be doing the stuff of where I want to be in order to get there. So a lot of that is simply put, energy in motion. And so if you, I told you I'm cooking a little too
Go
much,
ahead,
but
man. Go ahead, sizzle, bro. Go
a
ahead.
lot of it really comes down to putting energy in motion. And the same thing
Yeah.
for negative energy as well, because if you believe in the bad shit and you think the bad shit and you perceive the bad shit and you act, and the bad shit's going to happen. And so
Yeah.
it does. I believe that the part of the manifesting that people are doing is step one and not the full project. Like you can't hope your way out of a bad situation. It's
Nope.
simple as put. You can't wake up, think every day I'm gonna be rich, and then go watch TV. Rich people don't watch TV like that, bro. Like
Barely at
you
all.
started off your job, you started off your day not doing nothing. How do you feel like you're gonna get somewhere with that? You always say discipline is currency of freedom. Like how can someone use manifestation to fuel like their financial habits?
The way that they can use manifestation to fuel their habits, kind of coattailing off of what you said before, is it starts in your head. It starts in how you think about your finances, the beliefs you have with finances. Okay, if you just right off tip, you get up in the morning, you just thinking about being broke, then your actions are going to align with being broke. You're going to do broke people stuff. You're going to be like, all right, I'm going to be broke. So instead of me maybe doing something that a not broke person would do and create a budget for themselves or have an allocation of funds or have a plan for their money, just say, you know what it is, and I'm just going to go with it. But the manifestation mindset when it comes to finance is almost like you had said before, you're putting yourself in a position mentally to start acting as a rich person. So what I mean by that is almost, let me reel myself in real quick because I'm about to start going everywhere with this and I'm trying to make a point. So I'm going to say this. The book Atomic Habits really, I think, put some things into perspective for me as far as finance comes. And what the point that I want to make with that is one of the things that it talks about in that book is about how you don't think rich and then become rich. It's like you already thinking like you already are rich. And then you basically saying, okay, what would a rich person do? And so I'm going to do that. And most people do the reverse of that. They say, okay, when I become rich, then I'll start saving money. Then I'll start investing. Then I'll start. And that's where people are manifesting incorrectly. You're basically manifesting in backwards order. And so that book, Atomic Habits, really helped me to understand that you have to reverse engineer what it is that you're trying to do. And I think that's what manifestation really comes down to, is the ability to reverse engineer that action that you want to have happen. So it actually starts with what you're doing, and then the thing that you're thinking about having happen will come, if that makes sense. So it's okay, if I want to financially be successful, I have to already put my mind in a place of, okay, I'm rich. And it's almost like a delusion you have to put in your head. But once you start thinking that way, then you'll automatically start moving in that way. If you're saying to yourself, hey, I'm independently wealthy, you'll start doing things that independently wealthy people do, or you'll start getting around independently wealthy people because you're already in that energy or that place that you said. And a lot of what you said earlier really started resonating into this question that you asked me, is because I'm like, that's exactly how it works out. It's like you have to align yourself with what you're trying to do. So yeah, thinking it is one part of that, but then you have to align what you're doing with what you're thinking. And until that happens, manifestation is garbage.
100%. So in my coaching program, and I know on this show we talk about mindset all the time, but in my coaching program literally starts off with taking a pledge, but the pledge is just a list of manifesting actions. Like, I reserve my right to change my mind. I reserve my right to want to know education. It puts you in the mindset of, right now, this is the person that I am. And I only give them those steps to ensure that they have the right mindset. Like, the reason that you're about to learn something is because you're about to quickly unlearn something, and you have to already reserve the right to change your mind when you receive new information. But those are the types of things, like, some people manifest on like the surface. I want to be rich. Okay, what does want to be rich look like? Because to somebody like me, when I was 16, $1 million was rich. Now,
Right.
to me, I need $150 with the M. You know what I'm saying? I need a whole lot of money to be rich, because my rich is wealthy at this point, and my rich is different from your rich. And so what does that entail? The other piece to that is, you talk about luck. Like, it's not luck. It's a strategy. It's
Yeah.
a strategy. You can't get rich by just existing. You have to have something going to, if you want to be rich and you a race car driver, then you got to start manifesting towards being the best race car driver, or the whatever it is that you're doing. You can't just say, I'm about to be rich, because at the end of the day, it don't work that way.
No.
It don't work that way.
It really
So I have never really started looking into energy more than I have in probably the last year. And I do got another book recommendation, but I'm not going to put it out yet until I finish the book. But definitely, especially on manifesting, but definitely, what does it say in the Bible? Faith without actions is,
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I'm saying?
dead.
Is dead, right? So the blueprint for what it is that you're trying to do, but some people use it as a excuse to not take action. But again, you go back and read the definition, you'll see that it is a object or an event, meaning that you need to take action in whatever it is that you're trying to manifest in order to achieve your goal. Let me ask you this, because I'm about to bounce back on something. This is a good one. All right, so have you ever worked with clients that are using like the mindset shift and it's just not working for them? What is some of the things that you see that is missing when you're trying to change their mindset?
The biggest thing, honestly, is their belief system. Is the first thing I do when I do my coaching is I ask a lot of questions. I'm the type of person that's how I get information. I ask a bunch of questions, and I tell people to bear with me at the beginning, because I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, because for me, I'm a real selfish person. I'm sorry. First and foremost, before I start anything, it has to make sense to me. I have to put forth a clear path for myself. And so the questions for me gives me a clear path on how to deal with this person. And so I say all that to say that through all of my experience with dealing with clients, their belief system is the very first thing that I have to start really working with before I do anything with that client. Because life has taken people to a lot of different places, especially people who come from limited to no means. You know what that looks like. The lack of choices, the feelings of hopelessness, the frustrations, just all the different emotions that come with being in that position, that it almost, it takes your mind from you. It's like you're no longer thinking with your brain. You're starting to think with your heart. And your beliefs are what's driving your actions now. It's like now, because you feel like this just not going to happen for me. Life is just throwing too much at me. There's no way I'm getting out of this. So you have basically manifested that for yourself. You've basically said to yourself, you've made a decision in your mind is just not going to cook. And so when I'm dealing with clients, that's the first thing I'm attacking. I'm like, listen, we have to get you out your feelings and let's put your brain back in your head. And so I take them out of that that emotional journey of just, okay, there's nothing I can do about this. And I say, okay, listen, turn your brain off for a minute. Forget what you learned before. It's almost, look, forget whatever up to today. And let's lay out a real path based on reality, what you actually can do. And some of the things I do is I help them find the resources think they don't have. You know, okay, hey, look, you don't think you have anything, but realistically, you have everything you need. You just need to understand how to manage that. And so management becomes more so a concept that rules how I deal with my clients more so than just the whole manifestation thing. Because as you said, manifestation is an actual thing, object, unlike what people think is, and that's just manifestation is just in your mind. It's something out in the real world. It's something based on reality. And that's what you're going to have to realize to be successful and to turn manifestation into something that actually is going to work for you.
I want to read it just so everybody don't think I'm crazy. Manifestation is an event, action, or object that clearly shows or embodies something, especially a theory or an abstract idea. That is the definition, right? So it is a thing. It's a thing. It's an event. It's an action. It's an object. It's not thought.
No, it's not.
It's not a thought. It's not an idea. Right. But it says an abstract idea, like a theory of an abstract idea. But the fact of the matter is being rich isn't an abstract idea. And I think that kind of takes away from, it draws a bigger gap in between what people perceive manifestation to be. But there's a lot of little bit of steps. Let me not sound too crazy because I'm still working on this. But let's talk a little bit about manifestation from a money perspective from me. All right. Okay. So I want to start with me. I'm like you. I vet my clients, and some people just have icebergs and such a strong belief in their experience and their culture that they can't get past what I'm trying to show them. So at the beginning, my discovery calls generally bring out what I think is not going to make a successful client for me. Because at the end of the day, I got to be like a lawyer. Like my success rate on clients matters. And if I'm running to a client who I know did it, the glove do fit, so I can't acquit. We just can't work together. It may be a difference in personality. I am a little bit more of a straightforward guy. I am also a little bit more optimistic about stuff and I'll go back to my therapy session. I was talking to my therapist, and my therapist says that you have a hard time dealing with things because you have had so many traumas that nothing is a big deal to you anymore. And I said, I know, but my bigger problem is when people come to me with a trauma, it's a problem because to me, it's not a big deal. So
I know exactly how you feel
again, yeah. So it gets difficult for me again in vetting clients because clients can bring something to me and for them it's a tragedy. I've been bankrupt twice. I lost my home. I used to make $1 million and now I work at Burger King. And I'm like, so let's get that shit back. And for them, they want the sympathy and all of that. Bruh, I've been through the ringer. I've been homeless. I've had my kids had cancer. Like, I've been deployed 2 times. Like, I've been through it all. So it's not a lot of things that's going to shake me when it comes to my life is down in the dumps. Okay, let's get up. It is not, and it's not. And let me get back to my point. But as you were saying, the book Atomic Habits, the one thing about manifesting, and that kind of plugs this whole thing together with that book, is the ability to get 1% better every day. And that's what it's about. And understanding that no matter how down in the dumps you are, if you refocus your mind, not only to move positive energy, but to say, all I got to do is be 1% better than I was yesterday. Because after 365 days, a lot of that's going to add up. But the longer you stay down in the dumps and you can't deal with it and your feelings is hurt, the harder it's going to be to get out of your situation. When you're manifesting and you're acting and thinking and moving motion, meaning that you're speaking it, you're thinking, I mean, not motion, but it's energy, where you're speaking positive and you are acting positive and you're thinking positive and you're putting that in motion. What happens is that motion sets you up. Listen, I'm not crazy, but it sets you up to receive that motion down the line in another dimension, right? So whether it's 2 weeks from now, a year from now, whatever it is, whatever you're manifesting is in motion. manifestation works. We getting closer to the hour, bro. So let's talk a little bit about what you got going on at the Green Order.
Okay. Right now at the Green Order, we're shifting our focus. And the reason I'm really focusing in on debt is because much like this show and what we've been talking about, a lot of people have used debt as like this thing that just stops everything. Like they just have given up because of debt, or as I call it, debt is the dream killer. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people have gotten in this place where debt has basically consumed their life. And what I did is basically I've created a free tool for to use to get you started on your journey of debt freedom. It's called the 60-Day Financial Reset Starter Kit. And this is actually something free that you can download that is going to work to focus your mind. And after reading that starter kit, it puts you in a place where you're actually now ready to sit down and have a real conversation about how to not only get rid of that debt. I'll go ahead and drop that link to the 60-day starter kit in the show notes, but make sure y'all download that. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. Money. So that's where we are right now with the Green Order, among other things, but that's where we focusing right now.
No, I love it. I love it. And it's crazy because I've been working on a few projects, but I would say right now, quick shameless plug, make sure you go to yourmoneygoat.com. You can actually become a member and join the Financial Greatness Academy. That's going to walk you through step by step of what financial literacy actually looks like. It's a video of me talking about all of the stuff. And so that's going to save us an hour when we actually sit down and do our financial audit. But two things that's coming down the pipe very soon. So I'm working on a new book. I don't want to release the title yet because it's a punch you in the face title.
Okay.
But be on the lookout for that. It's probably about 2 weeks ago. I got my youngest client ever that's not my kid, right? So I had a 19-year-old kid signed up for the Financial Greatness Academy. He went through it. He did an excellent job. And I got some feedback. He says, this is really good information, but some of the concepts were a little bit harder to understand. So what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks is restructuring it to fit this generation. And course is called The Richest Generation. So The Richest Generation will be released within the next couple of weeks. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with the world, man, because these young kids, the ones who take the opportunity to sit in front of this information, will be the richest generation, because we already got it figured out.
Oh, yeah.
Financial service is just the evergreen service, and the rules that we use are thousands of years old. So if the quicker we can get them in front of somebody, the more successful they'll be, especially the younger folks, because they got the advantage of time right in front of them. So I'm really looking forward to that. But this was a good conversation today, brother. I truly appreciate you for putting this together and allowing me to cook a little bit. I love working with you. And when we can talk about things like these, that's a little bit outside of the box. That's probably the best moments of my weekend. And I appreciate that from you, brother.
Nice. Same here. And I hope everybody watching equally appreciates what's happening here. And as I always say, and it's funny that this message is about manifestation stuff, don't just take what we're saying today and it just be a thought in your head. Let's actually manifest this. Let's turn it into an actual event. Let's turn it into something that you begin to do, and watch how your life, your finances, everything just starts to change.
That's it. Hey, and so till next time, we will see y'all. Make sure y'all tuning in. The Green Order, yourmoneygoat.com. We are very reachable. But until next time, we are over and out. This is the 7 Cents. You just tapped into the 7 Cents, where the mind meets the money and the legacy gets built.
It's your boy Money Mike, the financial Thanos, snapping one myth at a time and leaving no financial lies standing.
And I'm Coach RL, mind right, money right, legacy locked in. If today's episode gave you game, make sure you rate, review, and share it with someone.
Hey, follow us on all platforms and keep the conversation going, guys. DM us your questions, your myths, and your money wins.
Until next time, think deeper, move smarter, and keep building.
This is the 7 Cents Podcast. We out.